Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you had a great week. I was driving somewhere this morning and I was thinking on my way there about the power of doubling, right? And if you're getting a 10% return on something, you double in 7 years. And so, for whatever reason, my mind went to the first wage I really had. I was apprenticing with my dad, and I think I was making about 27 or $28,000 a year. And so I thought for a minute, what was my doubling? So in 7 years, I should have been making 60, right? And then in 14 years, right? And so I started thinking back to some of the people that had worked for me over time and if they had been able to do that in their lives. And then I took things where I always do. I took them right down a rabbit hole that led me into this whole thought process as I was sitting in traffic about what are you doing to actually invest in your life? What are you doing to make your value higher? See, I looked at it and I looked at some of the best employees that I'd ever had, and I looked at what they did or didn't do most often to better themselves. So, did they just work better at their job? Did they work longer at it? Did they work harder at it? Did they take classes? I was talking with another young lady earlier this week, and she was talking about her marriage. And I asked her this question that all of us probably that are married should ask ourselves: how much are you investing in learning more about being a better spouse, about being a better partner, about doing things that are increasing the level of understanding that you have about being in a relationship? It's funny, most of us get married. Maybe we go through some sort of a 6-week course at the church, or we learn something and we read a book, or our mom gave us something, or we had that talk with our dad, or whatever we do. But then we get married and we expect it to be something we know. We take a job and we expect us to just naturally get better at this. But what gets better naturally? I mean, I understand you get a little bit proficient in a skill set, but would you tolerate your investments just doing CPI, just doing 2 or 3% a year better in raises? Why do you tolerate it from yourself? Why do you allow yourself to not invest in yourself? Why are you not reading books? Why are you not taking classes? Why are you not learning more and yet expecting more from elsewhere? Or are you? Are you doing what's necessary to make sure that your ROI as a person is going up as rapidly as your investments? All of us have got our eyes on the stock market right now, record highs. We got gold going through the roof, oil's going nuts, lumber's off the charts. You can't buy a car. And we're all focused on that. But where are we focused on how to position ourselves in a better spot to require our employers to pay us more, or our employment of any kind, whether that's our specialty that we work for somebody else? What is it we're doing that's requiring them to recognize us as someone that's worth more money? So, what are we getting out of all of this training we're doing? Why are we doing this? And why are we allowing ourselves to be the last person we invest in? We invest in the stock market, right? We invest in the Rotary Club. We spend our time there creating relationships. But what are we really doing on a full level of investing in ourselves? It's funny. I've always got 2 or 3 books going, and it just amazes me how much information I can get at a time where I'm sitting at 35,000 feet with people I don't even know. And I can feed myself all this information that can help me in what I'm doing and help me move my job forward and move my knowledge forward in the skill set that I have. Because at the end of the day, we really want to make sure that we are getting the maximum ROI, because we're the expendable thing. Our time is what all of us know to expend in exchange for money, right? Most of us haven't figured out how to make assets work for us while we don't. And so we are the commodity that gets used in order to do that. So why aren't we investing in that thing to get the next commodity or to get a higher ROI on that commodity, right? Because our time is the only thing we really truly have. And the more time we spend increasing our skill set, the more we can demand per hour in exchange for that time. And eventually, you can get to the place where you can demand total freedom from that clock because you've put in enough effort in other ways and have learned a skill set good enough to pay yourself while you're not at your job or at the thing that makes you money. And this is everybody's goal, right? This is why everybody sits at work trying to find a plan B where they can gain another skill set or where they can escape from the rat race. We hear all these terms and all these things that are about us getting out of what we are into in an effort to make sure that we're not stuck working for someone else or trading our finite resource for something that we need today in an effort to do that. But I just want to challenge you guys as you go into the weekend, put together a plan. Even if you've got one, put together a better plan on how to get more value out of your own time to make sure that your ROI is doubling at least every 7 years so that you as a commodity, your time is now worth twice what it was 7 years ago and 3 times what it was in 14 years and so on and so forth. Then when you can get to that place, you can do double time and compound because not only are your investments working for you, your knowledge is working for you and you're working for you. So guys, that's the tidbit I got for today. I hope you had a fabulous week. I hope you take some time to consider these things and put them into practice. Let me know, guys. Go to shannonrobnett.com. Click the info button. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment here. You can find me on all the social platforms. But guys, I'd love to hear from you. We've got information that can help you increase your ROI. Just drop us a line and we'd be happy to send it to you. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll talk to you soon.